watching Fox 10 Phoenix now.
It is day 7 of the murder conspiracy trial for Lori Vallow Daybell. And today, the state could potentially rest their case against the so-called Doomsday mom.
Fox 10's Kenzie Beach joins us live this morning with more on the case. Kenzie.
Yeah, good morning, you guys. 18 witnesses have already testified against Lori Vallow Daybell. 3 more to go, and we know that they will be representing Chandler Police. But Vallow Daybell is already convicted in the murders of her 2 children in Idaho, Tylee and JJ. Now, today she's on trial for conspiracy to kill her then husband, Charles Vallow. Yesterday, Chandler detective Ariel Werther took the stand, and Werther was responsible for gathering cell phone data to track Lori's whereabouts following her husband's death in July 2019. Now, Lori told investigators she left the home moments after the shooting, making stops at a Burger King and a Walgreens. Werther says the data suggests she left well before any call to 911 was made.
The device has clearly departed the scene well before the 911 call and does not return until after the 911 call. The distances make it entirely implausible that the device went all that way that quickly, plus the timestamps are logged prior to the event. And so again, I could see only 2 possible interpretations. Either the shooting happened much earlier than we were told, or the device and the person bearing it, which I understand to be Ms. Vallow, left well before the shooting occurred. I don't see a third option.
The state has just 3 witnesses left to call. Then Lori will have a chance to present her case as she's representing herself. But we do still expect Detective Nate Duncan to take the stand. Now, he's the lead investigator in this murder case, but he has been under the weather the last week, but we still do expect him to take the stand. So 3 more witnesses to hear from, and things could wrap up on the state side. They could rest their case as early as today. Back to you guys.
Kenzie, thank you. We do have you covered from gavel to gavel as Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum streams live every single day leading up to the verdict. He has a lot of great information for you. Everything that's unfolding in the trial, including cross-examination. Sometimes he has experts there in the streaming studio for you. So you can scan the QR code there on your screen. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. Get those live alerts every day. His live reports begin at 11 a.m. each and every morning. At the state capitol, a bill to increase penalties for stolen valor has now passed the state Senate.
So the bill makes stolen valor a felony. It passed the Senate with a 29-1 vote, but it was killed in the Senate Judiciary Committee by Congresswoman Wendy Rogers. It was then brought back with a few amendments.
I'm advocating on behalf of my fellow veterans, all of us veterans, to hold military imposters accountable with SB 1424. This bill reflects the final product of how we craft and create laws here in the legislature, of conversations, of compromise, and teamwork between the House and the Senate.
Governor Katie Hobbs now vows to sign the bill into law.
The state Senate also passes a bill paving the way for the company Axon to build a new headquarters in Scottsdale. The bill would let the company bypass a referendum that could have stopped the project altogether. The company was founded here in Arizona years ago, currently employs 4,000 people in the North Scottsdale area. Axon has threatened to move operations to Texas or Florida if they cannot move forward with the new project. The bill now heading to Governor Katie Hobbs' desk.
While some of those bills have moved forward, others have been stopped. Governor Katie Hobbs announcing a series of vetoes, among them a bill that would have restricted people from using SNAP benefits to buy soda. Now, this was one of the 2 bills that HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. lobbied for here in our state. The other bill banning processed foods was signed into law on Monday. You can read about both of those bills on our website, fox10phoenix.com.
Developing at Arizona State University, more than 50 international students at ASU are now facing deportation. Their student visas have now been revoked. We did speak with a writer from the Arizona Luminaria. He says these students are all from the Middle East, Muslim majority countries, China or India. He also says 3 of them have been put into immigration detention.
It's kind of a complicated process for how someone is able to apply for and obtain a student visa from abroad. It's also a complicated process to have it revoked, that these people spend a lot of their own money to come here and then to pay tuition and other fees. And it's a blow, not just to the students, but to the campuses wide.
Well, a spokesperson at ASU, they shared with us that they cannot tell us an exact number as that visa process is very complex. Appeals are in progress. The university says it is committed to fully supporting all affected international students in completing their degree program.
All right, well, happening this morning, St. Mary's Food Bank is holding their daily food distribution.
So folks in line this morning, they're getting something a little extra special. Dominique is live this morning with details there on what they're receiving as we prepare for Easter weekend. Good morning, Dom.
Good morning, guys. Yes, the countdown to Easter is officially on, and today is full of a lot of surprises here at St. Mary's Food Bank. So you may be familiar, typically when it comes to food distribution of the meals, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, but this is the first year they are opening it up for Easter, and they're receiving something a little special that these drivers who just now pulled in moments ago, it's just now starting, they don't even know they're receiving. So I'm bringing in Milt. Glad to have you this morning.
Thanks for being here.
Tell us a little bit about all the surprises happening today.
Yeah, so as you said, we typically do distributions for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but for this year, we've actually added Easter. We've heard from neighbors that inflation continues to hurt from a food standpoint and a housing standpoint, and they're having difficulty making ends meet. So today in the cart, we're doing our normal distribution, but the surprise is that every cart has an Easter turkey or an Easter ham.
And how special is that, too? There's nothing like, when you're eating your Easter dinner or maybe brunch, having that addition of a turkey and ham, it really just is kind of like the cherry on top.
It really is. What we hear at Christmas and Thanksgiving is that food just doesn't nourish. It isn't just for nourishment, it's for nourishing the soul. And the chance to bring families together and friends together for an Easter meal is something we're excited about providing today.
So on an average day, you guys are giving out, talk about like the numbers and then compare to what we're seeing now, because just with the times, the demand is going up as well.
That's right. So on a typical day, we're serving over 2,000 families, and that number is up 30% since COVID. So every day we're serving 300 or 400 more families than we had before.
All of this, too, we're watching these volunteers load all these items into the trunks of people's car. It can't be made possible without the help of volunteers.
That's right. And what's really cool today is that we have many volunteers from Shamrock Foods. They're in green T-shirts today, helping out. And so it's great to have them support us today.
Yeah. And we were just talking, with the demand and the times and things. Have you guys had to make some changes, ask more from vendors, ask for donations? What's it been looking like for you guys?
Yeah, we've worked really hard with our food donors to help them understand the need. There's a lot of confusion around what the federal support will be, and so we've been filling that in with private support.
Yeah. So about how many people are we expecting today?
Yeah, we'll see about 1,300 folks here in Phoenix and about 700 out in Surprise.
Oh my gosh, and it really is like a well-oiled machine. You guys have it down packed, and really they're supposed to open about 7:30. We opened a little bit early, seeing all these cars pull in.
We did. The line was really long, so we wanted to get things moving.
Absolutely. How long will you guys be out here?
We'll be here till 1:30 today.
Okay, great. And really quickly, for those who want to help, just a season of giving kind of year-round, how can they do so?
Yeah, so we rely on the community all across Arizona. So stmarysfoodbank.org. If you go there to help us out, that'd be great. And if you need support, feel free to come down.
All right, sounds good, Milt. Thanks so much. And once again, you guys, these lucky drivers, they are getting the gift of a turkey or a ham, which is exciting. They don't even know it for this Easter. I'll send it back to you.
Oh, wow. What a great deed out there at St. Mary's. Dominique, thank you. So many families in need this time of year as well. Some in the craft beer scene are a bit sour on the threat of new tariffs. Governor Hobbs met with local brewers yesterday to discuss the impact this is having on the industry. Wonder if they,
had a few
couple beers. Yeah. Hobbs was joined by Arizona Congressman Greg Stanton, who says these trade policies are hurting small businesses in Arizona. They also said the tariffs are raising prices for some consumers as well.
The bottom line is that we are seeing chaos and confusion, and that alone even without the actual policy in place, is upending business across the state. Are you going to respond to tariffs?
President Trump says tariffs will encourage U.S. consumers to buy more American-made goods, increase the amount of tax raised, and lead to huge levels of investment right here in America. It is a Weather Wisdom Wednesday, and here is something you have likely seen here in the valley. We have had some spectacular sunrises, sunsets here in the valley as of late with some of the cloud cover and the unfortunate dust. I know that comes with a ton of negatives as well, but cloud cover with rain falling, but not quite making its way to the ground. That's an image of what you're looking at right here. Big thank you to Frank and Zalone for sharing this with us. So what is this meteorological phenomenon? Here's Crystal to explain. Hey, Crystal.
Yeah, hey, so we are here in our virtual weather lab to explain that weather phenomena. Let's talk about what is happening and why. It's something that is commonly seen here in the desert. Virga is the name of that weather phenomenon. Now, we all know how rain works. We learned about the water cycle when we were kids. We've got that rain up in the clouds, it falls, and if there's enough moisture down at the ground, then that rain makes it to the ground. We get showers, everyone is happy. But unfortunately, especially in the desert, we oftentimes see what is known as virga. This is when rain falls from the clouds, as is typical, but instead it encounters some drier air down at the surface. This is why often I'll talk about the dew point temperature, especially going into the monsoon. That's a measurement of the moisture down at the ground. When rain falls into too dry of air, it evaporates the moisture before it can make it to us down in the ground. So the result is you look at the clouds, you think it looks like it's raining, but you're underneath it and you don't get a drop. Unfortunately, something we see play out too often. Now, we also often will see virga still show up on radar. It can almost be a trick to make it look like things are going to be a lot better than they are. Why does this happen? Let's take a look at our graphic. So this is what happens. A radar beam sends out radio waves to take a look at what's going on in the sky. As that beam goes out, it starts to climb higher into the atmosphere, sending out its waves in hopes that it'll bounce off something like rain or snow and send that information back to the radar so that we get our map. Now, it's shooting up high into the sky, especially the farther a storm is away from the actual dome. That means that what we get is a picture more up in the clouds than right down in the surface. The result is sometimes radar shows rain even when it's not actually falling. That's where we come in, your forecasters, because we're able to decipher the difference between virga and actual true rain. Guys.
All right, Crystal, thank you. Good explainer there.